Hey, Greg Hager coming to you from the Oak Park Amphitheater in beautiful Minot, North Dakota. And going to be singing a full concert here this evening. A beautiful night, a perfect night in the park. Folks are spread out all over the place. A couple of minutes away from start time here, so enjoy that. We're going to be featuring some new songs from the brand new album, State of Mind. And I hope you all enjoy that. But just a couple of minutes from showtime, I'm going to go finish up what I need to do before the concert begins. So thanks for tuning in. Don't stop.
I'm not. I'm zooming in.
Good evening, everyone. Oh, what a good North Dakota night. There we go. I'm getting some training down here in front. It is good to see you. God bless you. And what a wonderful evening we have planned here this evening. My name is Pastor Shane McLaughlin. I'm with Bethel Free Lutheran Church up on North Hill. And we wanted to invite Greg to come out and share. Some of you are familiar with his music. Some of you may not be. But we are all going to be blessed by it tonight. He is the Entertainer of the Year for the Pro Cowboy Country Artists Association, and he's quite talented and quite gifted, and what a blessing that is. Just to share a little bit about him, well, I guess I should say before that, a couple of things I do want to make you aware of. Of course, we have some waters up here you can see. You're welcome to come and get as many as you like. And we have some tracks and things like that up there as well, if you have any interest in visiting a little bit about Christ and faith and so on as well. But some other practical things, up in the brown building just around the corner up here is where the restrooms are, so that you are aware of where those are in case you need them, and that as well, and those kind of things. Is there anything else that I'm still needing to want to say thank you to the Minot Park Association for allowing us to be here tonight, and the blessing that they're allowing us to do this. A year that's been full of all kinds of crazy stuff. It is good to come back to the things that we know and can rest upon. And so a little bit more about Greg himself. In 2009, he says, life just happened in such a way that Greg's childhood dream of using music to make a difference in people's lives became a reality. He and his wife, Andrea, who's here tonight, and their 3 children went all in and started traveling as a family. They sang anywhere that they could and everywhere that they were invited. He and Andrea still do. And so we have tonight and tomorrow morning, as well as tomorrow evening as well, but you'll hear more about that later. Creatively weaving the great gospel story through music, he is able to witness to tens of thousands of people each year to places where few others get to go. Rodeos, city and regional concert series, banquets, festivals, country and state fairs, to name a few. His music is regularly played around the world on various internet and broadcast radio stations. He also sells music around the world and makes successful annual concert tours to Japan, and tours in other countries are pending. With his rural western roots, yeah. He grew up down in Valley City country, and that's where they live now, and on a farm down there, and it is good to see that. With those roots, he continues to write and sing about the faith that he has and the life that he knows and lives. Valuable lessons about faith, honesty, integrity, and keeping your word, no matter what, were instilled at an early age and form the backdrop of his musical perspective. Those values are timeless and resonate with everyone. Greg uses every concert opportunity to share his faith, so don't be surprised, to encourage and give hope, to build bridges of shared humanity, and to encourage fellow believers, ultimately challenging the unbeliever to begin a walk of faith in Jesus. And again, we have many resources available to help a person with that, and would love to visit with you as well. With that, how good are your eyes tonight? How many dots do you see? How about now? How about now? Or how about now? Now, this is just a simple little track. There's some over here. We can show you some more about that. But it's a reminder that sometimes when we think we've got the whole world figured out, we find out we don't. And that plays much of God working in our lives as well. And so with that, and we'll get to hear more about that, would like to invite Greg to come and share with us now. Here he is, the guy that you all came to see. Let's welcome him.
Thank you, Pastor Shane. It's wonderful to be here in Minot. A beautiful community. Andrew will use that microphone, so whenever you're on a tour. I'm going to share stories tonight. I'm a singer and a songwriter. And historically, who is Greg? I've recorded more original music than anybody in the history of our great state. And we do travel full-time using music to share, as Pastor Shane had said. And so tonight, I want to take you on a journey about us. Just an old Dakota cowboy who is trying to make a living with my song. And I hope to sing it well enough that all the world would like to sing along. And I think you can understand me when I say this is something I must do. Let's come to an understanding. I have got something to say to you. Be who you are, follow your dreams, don't look back. Live every day like it could be your last, with no regrets. Live this way and you're sure to go far. Be who you are. I spent a lot of years pretending I could do what others wanted me to do. And at night words came to haunt me, saying, son, to thine own self be true. And I think you can understand there came a point when I thought I would explode. And here I am just being who I am and living on the road. Be who you are, follow your dreams, don't look back. Live every day like it could be your last, with no regrets.
way, and you're sure to go far. Be who you are. And here's the moral to the story. You may not get rich, but you'll be happy. Follow your dreams, it'll be okay. Be who you are, follow your dreams, don't look back. Live every day like it could be your last, with no regrets. Live this way and you're sure to go far. Be who you are. Live this way and you're sure to go far. Be who you are. Be who you are. Thank you so much. Well, one of the things when you travel down to southern states, people always ask us the same question, don't they? Maybe you've experienced this. You say, I'm Greg, I'm from North Dakota. They have one question that always happens. They say, doesn't it get cold in North Dakota? And I always tell them, and I kind of laugh to myself, I say it does, and that's what's so great about North Dakota. And then they look at me like, how could you say that? And I say, if I follow up pretty quickly, I say, because in our wintertime, we put on more layers of clothes, and then we go do what we have to do. And they sort of understand that. And I say, but down here in the South, you can remove layers of clothes, and it doesn't change your situation. And then they start to understand what's so great about this northern land. Mysteries of nature cannot be explained by man. The same thing goes for love. Oh, they've tried, but no one can. Just take a look around you and see the way that things are here. And notice how the skyline always seems so far from here. It's in the northern land. Oh, the sights are grand. Come take me by the hand, and we will walk together. For when you are here with me, more than the land is free. And I hope you now can see the way that life can be. A small brook and the swaying of the trees, the meadows with their flowers and the whispers of the breeze, all paint a perfect picture on the canvas of the ground. A finer place on earth for love to grow can never more be found. It's in the northern land. Oh, the sights are grand. Come take me by the hand, and we will walk together. For when you are here with me, more than the land is free. And I hope you now can see the way that life can be. It's in the northern land. Oh, the sights are grand. Come take me by the hand, and we will walk together. For when you are here with me, nights like tonight remind us just why we love the Northern Land. Perfect. It's just so beautiful park here. And again, as Shane mentioned, if you know someone at the Parks and Rec Department, make sure to let them know that you appreciate that this amphitheater, this stage is made available for events like this throughout the year. I'm not the only one that happens to it. Let them know that you appreciate that, and that should help guarantee availability for other events in the future. I did release 2 albums last year in 2019. One of them was in Japanese. I'm not going to sing Japanese for you tonight, but I released a new album called State of Mind. And so in the concert tonight, I want to sing a bunch of stories off of that new album because it tells sort of the story of us. When I was 7 years old, I learned to play guitar, and I wrote my first song. And the first song that I wrote was about my favorite TV show at the time, which was The Dukes of Hazzard. And it wasn't because of Daisy, it was because that car could just jump everything. And my brother and I would pretend we were the Duke boys and run our bikes across ditches and ramps and things like that. But I'm not going to sing that song, but suffice it to say that when I was young, growing up on the land, there were 2 differences of the training that I got in my life. My dad, my grandpa, my uncles had a little bit more matter-of-factly way of giving me instruction. And my mom and my grandmothers had a much softer way of pointing out what was important in life. And so I wrote this song to honor primarily my mom and my grandmas, but for all of you ladies out here, I want to sing this for you today because you do something for humanity that no one else can. And that is by you being you, you help to demonstrate the softer side of humanity. And us guys, us the other gals, everyone is grateful to you being you. Her story started long ago, I'm still telling it today. Stood tall for all those years, watched us grow and play, unselfishly continued when children moved away. Seems that now my heart is empty as I reminisce today. All the things she taught me, they are with me still. I'll carry on remembering, I know I always will. I'd like to think I'm doing well, though my age begins to show. I will cherish all my memories of all those years ago. She took care of all of us, and that's why I care now. Made it to those golden years, sometimes I don't know how. I learned to give and love from her, to always do my best. I'm glad I got to thank her, and for that I feel so blessed. All the things she taught me, they are with me still. I'll carry on remembering, I know I always will. I'd like to think I'm doing well, though my age begins to show. I will cherish all my memories of all those years ago. She poured into others, her legacy is sound. The lives that she's influenced around the world are found. You could say I've learned my lessons well. I hope to live hers they'll want to tell. 'Cause all the things she taught me, they are with me still. I'll carry on remembering, I know I always will. I'd like to think I'm doing well, though my age begins to show. I will cherish all my memories of all those years ago. Thank you, ladies, for just being who you are. I had a job one time that sent me to New York City. And let me just tell you, if you never have had a job that sends you someplace, the sending is not the fun part of the job. You see, because when you get sent someplace, you're on somebody else's agenda, not your own. So I was stuck in New York, right in the center of Manhattan, about 42nd Street, and couldn't really do much of enjoying because I was there to learn stuff. And so my class, we sat around and we told stories because that was more interesting than the learning was. And a lady in my class by the name of Kim shared a couple of ideas in her story, her life story, that were so good that I had to, as a songwriter, take her story and put it in a format that I could retell it. So I want to sing Kim's story for you. She's probably watching tonight here. We're going live on the Facebook video here. Folks have tuned in from all over the world already. It's one of the beautiful things of electronics is that people can connect even when they can't be here. There's some folks who said they would be watching from here in Minot who didn't want to come out to the park. And so, you know, this park is making a difference as well. But I want to sing for you Kim's story because the truth in it is a truth that applies to all of us. She said, I grew up in Texas a long time ago, and my family was poor, but we tried not to let it show. Doing good for others, I learned young that I was blessed, and I am proud where I come from, and I think Texas is the best. But there's a place we all come from, home-cooked meals, go get you some. There's a childhood left behind, it's a place you long to find, where your hopes and dreams and the helicopter were never far behind. Well, the lights of New York City were seen twinkling in her eyes, and the honesty she shared with me, it almost made me cry. And though I'd barely learned her name, her story helped me see, when you know where you come from, where you go you'll always be. Place we all come from, home-cooked meals, go get you some. There's a childhood left behind, it's a place you long to find, where your hopes and dreams were never far behind. And she said she dreams of Broadway, her name up in lights. When she shared that dream with me, I knew that she was right. But now she's headed back to Vegas, to a job that pays her bills. Well, for her, I hope the best. For her, I hope her dreams fulfilled. 'Cause there's a place we all come from. Home cooked meals, go get you some. There's a childhood left behind. It's a place you long to find, where your hopes and dreams were never far behind. Thank you so much. Thank you. For the folks in the cars, this is a free concert. If you want to come into a picnic table, you're welcome to it. There's no charge for the show. And feel free to join the folks who are here already. Stay in your car if you want, but this isn't a private event, so anybody within earshot, you can move in as close as you want and enjoy the sound in the show as it is. Again, my name is Greg Hager, and I'm just glad that you are here and listening. That same company that sent me to New York to learn some stuff had an interesting experience in my life. I worked for a guy who thought that I was a horse. It's true. Let me sing to you just exactly what I mean. I've got a boss, thinks I'm a hoss. He wants to ride me every day. I understand that he's the man whose price I have to pay, but I'll get by. I'll get by. I'll get by. Oh, he wears boots and spurs, but he's still not a cowboy. And it takes more than just a firm hand on the reins. And a hat don't mean his head will not get dusty. And it's a heart that keeps you riding through the pain. Well, here's what happened next. Well, he saddles up and he says, "Giddy up," and I get on my way. And if I rebel, it makes me yell. The bit reminds me every day, but I'll get by. I'll get by. I'll get by. Oh, he wears boots and spurs, but he's still not a cowboy. And it takes more than just a firm hand on the reins. And a hat don't mean his head will not get dusty. 'Cause it's a heart that keeps you riding through the pain. Well, cowboy logic, it makes a lot of sense. Keep both hands on the wire when you cross the fence. And when the wind is blowing into it, don't spit. And when you're wearing spurs, you shouldn't squat to sit. Oh, he wears boots and spurs, but he's still not a cowboy. And it takes more than just a firm hand on the reins. And a hat don't mean his head will not get dusty. 'Cause it's a heart that keeps you riding through the pain. Well, I've talked enough these days. I'll buck him off, he's driving me berserk. I guess I'd rather be the hoss than a jerk. Thank you. I can see by some smiles that some of you know just what that's like. But this next story song actually has a real life application. I was raised on a grain and dairy farm down by Valley City. We had cattle and had horses off and on, but the horses and dairy don't mix real well, so it was kind of a hate scenario, because the horses wanted to eat what the dairy cows ate, and that just didn't work out so well. But over here is the Abrahamson family. I've been blessed over the years to get to entertain at the rodeos that they put on, and I thank them for the opportunity to be in the ring, the arena with them a lot. So this song marries two ideas together that generally don't go together. Now, the people who follow music would say that there's a type of music that spells R-A-P, and that R-A-P as a type of music isn't music, it's just jungle noise or something, that the rap music isn't really musical. But then in the sport of rodeo, you have some W-R-A-Ps. You have different raps that are used for different things. And so I thought we would take and marry two ideas together that generally would not go together from any Western performer's mouth. And I want to sing for you the cowboy rap. Drop the rope over the bull, hook and pull back through the loop. You center high, place your hands, listen close now, here's the scoop. Your palm is up, the rope goes on the handle, do not slip. And then back around and lay it there, hold it tight, you've got the grip, now that's a wrap. Bull rider rap. In the mouth of piggin string, a nod, a run, a loop is thrown around a calf neck. Here's the thing. Off the horse, down the rope, flank the calf onto the ground, 3 legs tied up with the string, slack the rope, 6 seconds bound, now that's a wrap. Calf roping round. Rodeo, like life, can teach you all you need to know. You take the good, the bad, and stride, your attitude will show. Sometimes you go the distance, sometimes you take the fall. Just get up, get back on, try again, you're riding tall. Now that's a wrap. A cowboy rap. Screw your hat down tight, it's gonna be a wild ride. Don't forget to pack your rosin. don't forget to wear your boots at least a half a size too big. Now that's a wrap. Thank you. One of the things that when I grew up was I got conversations like, Greg, I need to show you something. It was not so much the words that were said, but more, I showed you twice, let me show you again, and I don't want to show you once after that. Or come here, Greg, let me show you what you did wrong here. It was a lot of learning through life lessons. And this next story song, it's actually kind of a true story. So I'm just the messenger in this song. Let's just make sure that you understand I'm just the messenger, okay? He was sitting there alone, and so I saddled up a chair. The waitress poured my coffee, he had a distant stare. Living some old memory, a life he used to know. He cleared his throat and whispered soft and low. The only way to get them fast is slow. He started telling stories of his life out on the trail. 20,000 sunsets marked the lessons learned so well. He talked about the winter and how rain makes cattle grow. Found Roundup when they got the word to go. The only way to get them fast is slow. If you try to rush them, they will turn on you. You'll feel the fire in their eyes. They'll try to stomp on you. One thing that's worth noting, better get it in your head. A life's a better place than being dead. If you don't push them with you, they will go. The only way to get them fast is slow. He described to me the difference between leaders and the led. How the way to work the cattle is to get inside their head. Convinced that where you need them next is where they want to go. Have patience, son, don't let your temper show. The only way to get them fast is slow. If you try to rush them, they will turn on you. You'll feel the fire in their eyes. They'll try to stomp on you. One thing that's worth noting, better get it in your head. A life's a better place than being dead. If you don't push them with you, they will go. The only way to get them fast is slow. And then he said, there's one more thing I'll tell you, because it's true. Women are a lot like cattle too. The wisdom of an old man, right? I'm just the messenger. I get asked a lot. I play an Irish-made guitar. This is made by the Emerald Guitar Company in Donegal, Ireland. And the whole guitar is carbon fiber. And most years, we spend about 130 concerts a year, traveling about 200 days every year using music. And one of the beautiful things about a carbon guitar is that it doesn't change when the temperature changes. The moisture, humidity, dry, wet, hot, cold, nothing about the instrument changes. And so it's like today I feel the chill changing. Nothing is changing with my guitar because it's not affected by the temperature or humidity change. But it kind of sets me up to, in the stories so far, and we're kind of making a little change in the way the story is going. you hear some stories about the rural life, the life that sort of was here before the people were here. And in the days of the great cattle drives, there was a type of cowboy that rode at the tail end of the great herds and sort of kept everybody moving in the right direction. And those cowboys were called a drover. And history tells us that many times those drovers were of Irish descent, who came over and weren't much liked in other parts of this country of ours at that time, and they got jobs as cowboys. And so an Irish guitar to sing a story about an Irish cowboy seemed like a good setup. Here's my version of Drover.
Prairie, I move around. Some say I'm a drifter, like snow on the ground, that's here for a season and gone by the spring. As soon as the meadowlarks sing, always their voices are calling to me, beckoning onward. There's more you should see. Ride on, old drover, just ride towards the west. The life of a cowboy is blessed. Riding for wealth or for fame, and some think I'm running, a woman to blame, but I can't escape it. I'll always ride tall, while trails and the cattle still call. Always their voices are calling to me, beckoning onward. There's more you should see. Ride on, old drover, just ride towards the west. The life of a cowboy is blessed. Always their voices are calling to me, beckoning onward. There's more you should see. Ride on, old drover, just ride towards the west. The life of a cowboy is blessed.
Sometimes people say, well, you travel a couple hundred days a year. Well, this year's been kind of a strange year, hasn't it been? Been strange for most people, most businesses, most everything. In our musical life, we had 90 shows canceled this year that we had booked and contracted for. In fact, we were in California when everything kind of started, and so it just cascaded through the last number of months, and fortunately, life is moving in the right direction. But so when I'm home, when I'm not traveling, I help out our local school district, and I drive school bus. And one of the things I've noticed in the last couple of years, as compared to, say, a decade ago or so, is that in the school bus, in the driver's window, you've got a big rear view mirror, and you can see everything that's happening in the back of the bus. Well, like night trips, sports trips at night used to be so great because kids were tired and they'd sit there relatively quiet and it was dark and you could just drive and sort of be by yourself. But no, not anymore. Everybody's got some kind of something that they're occupying their thumbs with that has a light or a screen. So school buses aren't dark anymore. They're lit up like crazy. And I was looking in the rear view one time driving home and I thought, You know, people talk about the danger of secondhand smoke, and there's some science to that. But nobody that I have ever heard has asked the question about secondhand phone until now. You can text and you can tweet and you can think it's pretty neat to follow millions just like you. You write things upon your wall but never have the time to call. Your face is turned a frosty shade of blue. Well, there must be a solution to this optical pollution. It's all around, oh, can't you hear me groan? It's a logical rejection, it's not good for my complexion. The shadows nap on me just like a roan. Second-hand phone. Second-hand phone. Oh, I wish you would leave your space where it belongs, not in my face. You can take your tooth and stuff it. You've linked into Instagram, so don't tell Pinterest who I am. It's my choice to use or love it. Well, there must be a solution to this optical pollution. It's all around, oh, can't you hear me groan? It's a logical rejection, it's not good for my complexion. The shadows snap on me just like a roan. Second-hand phone. Second-hand phone. How many people remember the selfie stick? Another great picture of yours truly. The people texting and falling off of things because they weren't looking. Or you're driving the car and they're not driving, they're doing something. Well, there must be a solution to this optical pollution. It's all around, oh, can't you hear me groan? It's a logical rejection, it's not good for my complexion. The shadows snap on me just like a roan. Second-hand phone. Second-hand phone. Your light disturbs me when I'd just as soon be left alone. Fingers smoking on the keys, my eyes are burning, stop and please. This isn't you, just spending time alone. Oh, you're killing me with second-hand phone. So if you are inclined to use one of those so-called smartphones, some days I wish I had my dumb phone back, but if you use a smartphone, you can connect with Greg Hager and Greg Hager Music on MySpace and Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat and Pinterest and Tumblr. Frankly, if you're using it, I'm using it. Just search up Greg Hager and or Greg Hager Music, and we'd love to get connected with you. Again, with Facebook, people are tuned in all over the world watching the concert here tonight, and so you can connect that. Certainly the website, greghager.com, is another electronic way that you can see where in the world that we are. I'm going to do one more song, and then we'll take a short break. I know the restroom facility is the brown building up a couple of humps and over the hill there, and so we'll take a few minutes if you need to take a trip up there, and then do the last part of the program here in just a couple of minutes. But I want to take a transition. We've sung some songs about life and living. I want to transition and sing some story songs about love. That's more fun anyway, isn't it? This song is called Lost in Love, and then we'll take a short break and come back and finish that. What I'm doing here. I wonder, did I lose my way? starts with a smile. It's easy, it used to be such a chore. Waking up, I know it's true. There's nothing else I want to do. Sharing life and dreams. I am lost in love, it seems. The sun seems much brighter today, and I hardly know what's going on. I can't help but smile and dream for a while now. My night is gone. Waking up, I know it's true. There's nothing else I want to do. Sharing life and dreams. I am lost in love, it seems. But time passes by so quickly, and it never does slow down. And still I can't shake this question: did I drown? Did I drown? But waking up, I know it's true. There's nothing else I want to do. Sharing life and dreams. I am lost in love, it seems. Sharing life and dreams. I am lost in love, it seems.
Thank you so much. We'll take just a few minute break. If you want some more water over here, to take a look at the CD table. And again, the dark brown building kind of up the hill is where the restrooms are. We'll be back in just a few minutes with the back half of the program here. Thanks so much.
Hi there. Hi.
And for folks on Facebook land, you can see this product code here. You can connect with this code and you can find out more about the music.
Go up. There.
There, I think we got that in screen. So this will let you find out more about the music. That'll take you out to the website. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Tackled a couple times.
The microphone did.
See ya. See you, yeah. Thank you for being here. These are still on. Yeah.
No, I know that, but I noticed there was another.
Yeah, people have talked to saying some are going to make it, some not.
He got started about it. Where you guys head after this?
Let's see, we'll do a program at
We always
church
have
for a few next week.
a lot of times they give it to schools or different versions.
Okay.
They call it Shipsy maybe because it's words.
Is there anything special going on there?
Another church sponsor.
Okay. We're going out to Florida. Volunteers. Get together at Chips.
Not like
How you say it? Chips you want?
Chips one is how I've heard.
But anyway, they get together. But I don't know what time of year. We never go to it.
It's pretty country. A lot of so you see the most amazing, perfectly groomed little farmsteads of
Do you know him? Yeah. Oh, Greg probably knows her, not you. Oh, yeah.
Just like your place.
Yeah, I know. I've been
Then I found him. Gregory, come here.
Yes.
Won by unanimous.
No, I can't spend all your time doing this.
Well, I just asked how long you were telling me.
Oh, yeah. You're out of that.
Okay. Done good for guys.
They do it and they keep saying it. Later, yeah. I mean, you can do it for a lot of times.
We don't get too much as far as what the city decides on that.
Yeah. We're kind of doing our own thing. Our last one just started college. No, down in Kansas.
There's a guy who can farm it.
She wanted to venture away.
It's actually the same guy. It is.
Okay.
He does both.
Well, your contact should enjoy it.
The second part will be different too. So
Yeah, I suppose.
But it's fun, you know, you get stuck in it. I have it's been like, I just love it. Are you working? I have not done anything different than I normally do. We just live. We know if you go into a store, you can't use it. See,
we don't shop places everywhere.
always have it. Yeah, right.
Because people do business with businesses, we next to ask.
Yeah, well, that's great if they can do it. Right. I mean,
It's just
that's good. I do like Kim's. Actually, I'm going to do something in the house here. No, I don't get it all done. I mean, you got tons of weeds out there. Trees.
That's why I take the stance of it. What you say, this is
teenager at least. Teenager plus, I think. Kind of got a pretty good idea.
No, I had another barcode I was going to use. But we're going to get started in just a couple of minutes here, Facebook land. Don't go anyplace. Again, in the meantime, if you want to take a click on the product page here, hopefully you can see that in the screen. This will take you out and show you there. On the product page, you can take a look at that and see what we have available for sale. I've released 9 albums, and we're kind of featuring songs from the latest one, State of Mind, and we'll be doing some more in this second part of the program. I do check that out. This album spent 14 weeks in the top 30. The song, title track was 14 weeks in the #1 spot on Western Music Radio, State of Mind. The album itself spent 14 months in the top 30 of worldwide radio plays and the Western music charts. And so we're glad to be here and sharing this music tonight. This was produced by my label in Nashville, MFG Records. Dave and Dave Science and Beth Travers, and so glad to have them on board and doing the production on this album. So the concert will start. We'll get back on here in just another minute, so hold tight. We'll be back going.
They feel sorry for you. Good job. You hadn't planned on cooking a big meal. So they're close in the area too. This is what
You ready, Andrea?
I talk normal. Oh, good.
All right.
Yes. Okay, good show, guys.
As most people are gathering back and whatnot, coming from their little trip, and it is good to be back here. As Greg has been singing tonight, it takes me back to my days of growing up on a ranch west of Cheyenne, Wyoming. It was a beautiful wind-blown country, and that as well. It was really hard to get a hat to stay on down that country, but we did a pretty good job most of the time. The hard work, the cattle and the sheep and the horses and the like, and what a blessing that was to my life and getting to grow up out there. And being able to grow up and be able to just run as a kid was a special thing as well. And then, by the grace of God and Christian radio, he brought us to ultimately here to Minot, and we're thankful to be here and thankful to get to meet many of you here tonight as well. If you wanted to, tomorrow morning to come and hear some more, Greg is going to be sharing at our worship service. We have some flyers here about our church a little bit as well, but that'll be at 10:30 tomorrow morning, and then there's going to be that concert tomorrow evening inside as well, and we're thankful for that and the opportunities that God gives us there. Now, one of the things that is a great blessing is to be able to support and encourage the ministry that Greg and Andrea have, and the miles that they get to share and the stories that they get to share with people around around the world, and one way to do that is to pick up some CDs as well, and we get to enjoy them even while they're gone. And what a blessing that is to be able to enjoy them through and through. And there's a basket there for our tub there for tips if you'd like, and some more information there as well. And don't hesitate to visit with them and ask them some questions about life and travel and music and so on, and wonderful blessings that we have there in those things as well. But I think Greg is back here. It's kind of hard to see him. There he is, popping out of the shadows. And that's better than coming out of chute number 8.
It's true. Or 3. It's good to be back again for the second part of the concert. The first part we kind of talked more of the life and living and love, and so in the second part I want to transition into a little bit more of the perspective of love and what it means. Not only love of the love that a man would have for a woman that would challenge him to get married and start a family, but the love that we have for our country. And I kind of put this little beautiful reminder over here, and I'll talk more about that in just a minute, but the beautiful colors of the red, white, and blue never ceases to stir my heart. My folks and my in-laws recently celebrated 50 years of marriage, and so I was challenged by my father-in-law to write a song about their life. And I think it has application because Andrea and I just celebrated 25 years of marriage. And one of the things that people always tell me, well, it didn't seem like much. We just lived day to day, committed day to day, day to day, day to day. And all of a sudden you achieved 30, 40, 50, sometimes 60 years. So here's doesn't seem like much. Said I saw her sitting there, white go-go boots and made-up hair. He learned her name, and that was all it took. Just out of his army greens, he talked of things that he had seen. Said he had pictures, would she like to look? She, it seems, played hard to get. He found her place and didn't quit. A cottage home, he walked up to the door. A nervous knock, his picture book, just being nice, his invitation took. They said we had love for all to see. Forever is what's meant to be. Through good and bad we stood together tall. They said we've seen thick and we've seen thin, a time or two and back again. Our faith in God has brought us through it all. And besides, 50 years together doesn't really seem like much at all. In autumn gold began her love of him, I'm told. A super sport Impala caught her eye. At a switchboard she connected lines, an operator so divine. She said, I'd really like to meet that guy. Well, they owe it all to Mr. Sloan, where rent was paid and not a loan. An introduction made inside his place. Connection made, a love was born, a legacy that never has been torn. They said we had love for all to see. Forever is what's meant to be. Through good and bad we stood together tall. They said we've seen thick and we've seen thin, a time or two and back again. Our faith in God has brought us through it all. 50 years together doesn't really seem like much at all. They said we had love for all to see. Forever is what's meant to be. Through good and bad we stood together tall. They said we've seen thick and we've seen thin, a time or two and back again. Our faith in God has brought us
got some friends who say that if you want to have a good life, you've got to look and live on the mountaintops. And I've got friends who say that if you want to have a good kind of vacation, you can't stay here. You've got to go someplace far away. But I've come to realize that in my own life, I have a lot more time than I have money. And that I don't have to go someplace else to find paradise. That paradise for me is right at home. The tropical blue water can soothe the soul and the mind, and that sand and surf and sun are what you want to find. But I found too much sun can burn you, storms can ruin a glassy sea. And a place like that is not where I want to be. You are my paradise. You're who I want to see. When I feel life's wind blow, your calm is where I want to go. Escape, it's always nice. You are my paradise. I've heard that you must leave to get there, and that it's always far away. Just once a lifetime, if you're lucky, a great price you'll have. I've got more time than money. The time still means so much to me. And a place that takes them both is not where I want to be. You are my paradise. You're who I want to see. When I feel life's wind blow, your calm is where I want to go. Escape, it's always nice. You are my paradise. And I don't need my own cabana, and I don't need a fruity drink. I don't need someone to tell me where to go or what to think. You are my paradise. You're who I want to see. When I feel life's wind blow, your calm is where I want to go. Escape, it's always nice. You are my paradise. Escape, it's always nice. You're my paradise. See, sometimes the way that you think about something can change its output. I used to tell my kids, I still do, and when they're all grown. We have our oldest daughter, Hannah, is 22, and she works full-time in music therapy at the Cheyenne Care Center in Valley City. Our son William is going to be graduating from Barber College in Fargo in November, I guess it will be, and then he'll be working as a barber. Our youngest daughter, Holly, who's just 18 now, started college about 4 weeks ago and is absolutely loving the whole college experience and the friendships and the studying. She just loves school, and so she's happy as well. So Andrea and I are in that proverbial empty nest standpoint. But I always told the kids that all of life is like a glass of water. And if you fill it right up to the middle, no matter what happens at you in life, it's like that cup of water. And you can look at it two ways. You can either say that the glass is half empty and have a negative perspective on whatever the circumstance is, or you can say that the glass is half full. And you can have an adventuresome perspective and say, man, I've got half a glass of water. It's a good thing, rather than, oh, I only have half a glass of water. So we tried to teach him to look at life as being half full. So I want to sing for you the title track of the new album called State of Mind, because sometimes the way that you think about things can determine the outcome of it. Not only what you are, what you act, how you are, but it depends on your state of mind. It's not just the state of Texas, though it could be. Out in Oklahoma that you will see. In Utah or Dakota where they tend the land. Wyoming and Montana, or the desert sand. From Arkansas to Michigan you'll find. What makes you a cowboy is the state of mind. State of mind. You don't have to go that far and you will find that no matter where you are, it's more than just the place you hang your hat. My friend, it's really so much more than that. It's a state of mind. I've seen it in Nebraska, but not only there. Iowa and Illinois have got their share. In fact, across this land of ours, from sea to sea, from Florida to Washington, there will be. Through Canada and New Mexico, you'll find. What makes you a cowboy is the state of mind. State of mind. You don't have to go that far and you will find. More than just the place you hang your hat. My friend, it's really so much more than that. It's a state of mind. It's more than just the place you hang your hat. My friend, it's really so much more than that. It's a state of mind. It's a state of mind. Thank you so much. That album is one of the newest ones released, just came out last year in 2019. That album spent 14 months in the top 30 on the worldwide Western music playlists. The album did. The title track, the State of Mind title track, spent 14 weeks as the #1 song in the world on Western music radio. And little old Greg Dreamer from North Dakota, sharing my songs, my hopes, and to get some traction has been just very rewarding to be able to follow that dream. One of the dreams that I had, though, when I was on the farm all those years ago, I learned to play guitar, and I wanted to use music to make a difference. And I wanted to have someone in my life to share it with. And so some of the lessons that I learned that sort of set me up to meeting and marrying Andrea was realizing where the blessings come from. And I learned to pray, as many of you probably did, about being grateful, putting God first in all areas of one's life, and then praying for daily bread, and then interacting with your neighbors in the proper way, and so on and so forth. But you see, sometimes the daily bread is the part that gets us, because that's the bill on the table, or that's the lesson that you might have to, how do I deal with that? And so I pray sometimes a little bit more like this sometimes. You know I love those cattle, and I sure love this land. And out here in your beauty, there's so much to comprehend. You clothe every blade of grass and flower that is found, and you know each time a sparrow hits the ground. You taught me how to pray in your words of bread. Once again I'm here asking for my daily bread. What would it hurt if I could get a little more? Lord, it's not for me, but for her that I'm asking for. You know that I'm contented to work hard every day. And if she's wanting more than I provide, she just won't say. She's changed that old shanty from a wreck into a home. Far away from her, I'll never roam. You taught me how to pray in your words of bread. Once again I'm here asking for my daily bread. What would it hurt if I could get a little more? Lord, it's not for me, but for her that I'm asking for. Lord, it's not for me, but for her that I'm asking for. Thank you. So the her that was kind of the object of that song is gonna hit go there. We usually used to have a kid who would help out with this, and she's gonna hit go. She's gonna run around the back of the platform. Hopefully we don't hear a scream, and she's gonna emerge from either this side or that side, and I don't know which.
It's going to be a magic show.
It's gonna be a magic show. She'll disappear and then she'll reappear. But then my wife Andrea will run up here in a second. But here's the setup to this song. I mentioned earlier ago that some of my friends have said that you need to always live for the mountaintop experiences. I do love to go hiking, and I've hiked to the top of quite a number of mountains. And the thing that I can tell you about being on a mountaintop is that you look out and you've got a great view of what's down below, but there's not much alive. It's cold, it's desolate, it's not really a place that you really want to hang out all that much. It's a good place to view, but from the top, what you see down what's below in the valleys is where you really should be living. Here's in the valley below. saddle, the whole world seems so clear. The only things that matter to me are what I see from here. She's tending the garden, I watch the children grow, and I see the cattle grazing in the valley below.
In the valley below,
That's where the greenest grass is, and that's where the shade trees are. That's where the water's sweet and home is never too far.
in the valley below,
That's where I run for shelter when the wind starts to blow. And I know I'll stay forever in the valley below. I've been riding for years now on the same old piece of land, and I see wire and cedar borders that were placed by my hand. The prairie changing, a natural ebb and flow, and I hope my final ride is in the valley below.
in the valley below,
That's where the greenest grass is, and that's where the shade trees are. That's where the water's sweet and home is never too far.
in the valley below,
That's where I run for shelter when the wind starts to blow. And I know I'll stay forever in the valley below.
in the valley below,
That's where the greenest grass is, and that's where the shade trees are. That's where the water's sweet and home is never too far.
in the valley below,
That's where I run for shelter when the wind starts to blow. And I know I'll stay forever in the valley below. Thank you. Andrea Hager, thank you so much. And she'll come join me again. She'll do some of that magic here in just a song or two. I sat with my dad's dad when we're kind of talking about love and pouring into people's lives in the front part of the program. I sat with my Grandpa Hager not long before he passed away, and I said to him, Grandpa, tell me about the good old days. And I didn't know really what he would tell me, but I thought that he would tell me once again some of the stories I'd heard so often about his favorite team of horses and the way that he loved to put up hay by hand and all of these things that had become some of the fabric of my childhood growing up, but it was his life. But this time was a little bit different. Grandpa raised his finger at me and pointed in my face and he said, Greg, the good old days weren't that good. It was mostly hard work. And then we had a nice conversation. But you see, I don't know if Grandpa realized that his final days were coming, or if he just wanted to make sure that I got one more lesson of life. You see, he told me he didn't want me to miss it. He didn't want me to wish that I was living some other time, some other place, that I needed to be living today and taking advantage of life, because these are the good days. That was the hard work, but these are the good days. And then it made me think about the fact that every single day that I am blessed to wake in the morning, the story of my life's book has a blank page. And I have the privilege of writing a different page in my life's book. The legacy that someone might choose to read about my life It's a blank page. Whatever happened in yesterday, the day before, the week, month, whatever, I don't ever tear out those pages of my life book because I want to look back and see where I came from. But I have the privilege of creating a story, no matter where I came from, that's in a different direction, as do each of us. We're here tonight because somebody in front of us didn't give up when they otherwise could have. We're blessed to carry on a legacy of dreamers. I once asked a man about the years of yester. Wisdom answered with a twinkle in his eye. The good old days were not everything you think of. Took lots of hardship to get by. But I come from a long line of dreamers who saw the glass of life half full, who got it done by being workers and not schemers, and whose eyes were never covered up by wool. It's been said I dream about the years of yester, but my heart knows the best is yet to come. Looking back can help give you perspective, 'cause who I am's where I come from. And I come from a long line of dreamers who saw the glass of life half full, who got it done by being workers and not schemers, and whose eyes were never covered up by wool. Years from now, these days will be the years of yester. And if I'm asked, I'll tell it true. Now's the moment to be planning on your future. Your legacy is up to you, because you come from a long line of dreamers who saw the glass of life half full, who got it done by being workers and not schemers, and whose eyes were never covered up by wool. And you all come from a long line of dreamers who saw the glass of life half full, who got it done by being workers and not schemers, and whose eyes were never covered up by wool. I'm grateful to my grandpa, and I'm grateful for the people who poured into my life and gave me, who loved me enough to not let me stay where I was, but to teach me the lessons to get me to where I am today. I mentioned at the beginning, I love the colors of the American flag, and I don't think I've ever seen a set of colors that's more beautiful or moving than the stars and the stripes. Not just because of the color and the contrast, but because of what this flag stands for. You see, this flag stands for freedom around the world. I've been blessed to be out of country many times, and the whole world looks at the flag of the United States and sees the freedom that we have here. And the cost of freedom is not free. It came on the backs of men and women, brave men and women who stood up when it was difficult to do so. And so I want to sing to you a true story. I was traveling in Tennessee some years back and was at a spot, and a man was wearing a veteran's hat. And I went right up to him, as is my case, and took off my hat. I stuck up my hand and I said, "Sir, thank you for your service to our country. And I want to sing to you the true exchange that happened at that moment, because he didn't think that he had sacrificed enough on behalf of the great United States of America and on behalf of the flag of the United States. Here's our conversation. It's called Not Every Hero. Other afternoon, he started talking about old times and what he used to do. He told me he was a soldier, that he'd seen a lot of men die. He started telling a story, he started to cry. Told me he was a prisoner for a year or maybe more. How he'd served in the army till 1964. And that was when he got angry that he was living today. I tried my best just to listen, but through his tears he heard me say that not every hero has to die. You were one of the lucky, and I'm glad that you're alive. Wish I could do more to thank you, but I'm glad I got to try. 'Cause not every hero has to die. He told me that he was sorry, the words I'd said were true. He just seldom was noticed or even thanked for things he had to do. Sir, I'm so grateful for the gift that you gave to me. The fact is that you were willing. Freedom isn't free. I took a last drink of coffee and I got up and I started to leave. I said goodbye to that old man. There were tears wiped on his sleeve. I could tell he was thinking of some words he wanted to say. Thanks, he said in a whisper, for reminding me today that not every hero has to die. You were one of the lucky, and I'm glad that you're alive. Wish I could do more to thank you, but I'm glad I got to try. 'Cause not every hero has to die. Wish I could do more to thank you, but I'm glad I got to try. Not every hero has to die. Thank you. I know we have some heroes out here, and from the bottom of my heart, I'll say it publicly on this stage and in Facebook land and all the folks tuning in around the world, I am proud to be an American. And I'm grateful for the freedom that I have to follow my dream. And it's because of heroes like some of you who actively served and the other heroes who supported those who served. Thank you for what you have done for our great country. the love of mankind toward another mankind, it always blows me away when I see, if someone's in danger and say you call 911, policemen, firemen, other domestic heroes, they run in and they deal with it. It's amazing how they can have that type of bravery, and they go where we're too afraid. Siren, someone is needing help right now. It's amazing, the love of mankind to risk oneself on behalf of somebody else. Blows me away. But there's a love that's even greater than that. We talked about the love between a man and a woman, the proper love that would cause a marriage to want to be and to have a family and to have that fulfillment as it's supposed to be. And then, of course, the love of pouring into someone's life and helping them to become more than they ever could have been. And then, of course, the love of country and what it cost in people power to provide for that. But there's even a greater love than that, friends, and that's the love that God has for us. People say often after concerts, Greg, how could you stand? How could you stand to live in your car and travel a couple hundred days a year? How can you stand to set up and sing your stories night after night, weekend after weekend? Well, this is my heart. This is my love. This is what I feel I'm supposed to do, to share through music and to inspire people to find the greatest love ever. John 3:16 said that God loved the world so much that he gave his only son, that whoever would believe in him would not perish but could have everlasting life. And what drives me is there's so many people need hope and inspiration, and the answer is found in Jesus. It really is. Andrew is going to come up on this next song. Jesus is the answer. I found it in my own life, in difficulties and in good times. He's the one thing in life that doesn't change. Jesus is the answer. Though the fig tree does not blossom, and there are no crops in the field, I will never get discouraged, for God will bring abundant yield. When the fruit of all my labor doesn't get me anywhere, I'll still be joyful in my Savior, and I'll thank him then and there. 'Cause he's my light, he's my song, he's my strength to carry on. It's by his grace that I've been freed. He's the answer to my need. There are times where I am tempted, when the road is steep and long, to go the path of least resistance and keep walking with the throng. But then he calls and I look upwards, and I see his better way. It's only when I look at Jesus that I can stand up here and say that he's my light, he's my song, he's my strength to carry on. It's by his grace that I've been freed. He's the answer to my need. I know my life is like a garden with many fruits that could be grown. I also know that God is careful with the seed that he has sown. There are droughts and times of thirsting when I'm praying for his rain, and there are times of sweet refreshing. Both I'll raise my voice again. 'Cause he's my light, he's my song, he's my strength to carry on. It's by his grace
that I've been freed. He's the answer to my need. And He's my light, He's my song, He's my strength to carry on. It's by His grace that I've been freed. He's the answer to my need. He's the answer to my need.
Thank you so much. I've got just one final song for you tonight. I know it's getting darker out there. It's spotlights. I can see it's darker, but I can't see.
It's not getting, it is dark.
It is dark. Okay. I stand corrected. Well, I heard a voice. Yes, Andrea, I hear. I'm listening.
It's me.
Just a reminder that really is why we do what we do. It's about the faith that we have been given, the faith that we've chosen. That's changed my life, and to hopefully use music to make a difference in other people's lives. I will continue the story tomorrow, 6:30 tomorrow night. The brochures are over here on the table with the address of the church. And do come, we'll do a gospel concert that kind of continues the story and explores more aspects about the faith and who I am and why I do what I do. And of course, the church service in the morning, address, all that's over here. Our table, of course, is on this side. We'll get lights positioned up. If I can find a light switch, we'll turn something on above us too. But we've had a beautiful exchange here tonight. I don't take lightly the privilege of being on the platform here. This is not a right, this is a privilege. And to get to share my stories, my songs with you has just been thrilling for me. But we've had a good trade because you guys have traded with me the one thing that we cannot get back. And that is the beautiful gift of time. And I've given you part of my heart, part of my mind, and you've given me in exchange part of you with the time exchange. And so I want to finish up with the song that I call the comeback song. It's called I'll Come Back. It's on the brand new album. And I want to close with this, and then we'll be around to visit afterwards. So thank you again for coming out tonight. Do let the park folks know that you appreciate the band shell being made available for a concert. And of course, visit with Pastor Shane. Information here at the table. We'll be around afterwards at our table. I'll come back. When I'm away, it always calls my name. Though it changes, somehow it stays the same. Memories made here stay in my heart. Words cannot convey the depth. So let me start by saying one thing that is true. I know what to do. I'll cherish every moment until it's gone. But I'll see you again, though I don't know just when. So promise me you'll smile and sing my song, and I'll come back to you before too long. The way you welcome me feels just like home. Makes me question why I choose to roam. And home, they say, is where you keep your heart. And part of me is here, so let me start by saying one thing
but I'll see you again, though I don't know just when. So promise me you'll smile and sing my song, and I'll come back to you before too long. One thing that is true, I know what to do. I'll cherish every moment until it's gone. But I'll see you again, though I don't know just when. So promise me you'll smile and sing my song, and I'll come back to you before too long. And I'll come back to you before too long.
Thank you so much, Minot. Thank you for coming out tonight. Stop at Pastor Shane's table or at my table. Once again, thank you.
You don't want me to shut down the thing then yet?
Thanks for tuning in, Facebook land.